Hello there, and welcome back to Napalm's newest news. And today we have a dev blog about the VIDAR, to which you will find the link in the video description down below as usual. Nice title, Divine Vengeance, and it's a beauty, I gotta say it. Now, there you can see it. This is an interesting bit here. This is an export variant of the South Korean K9, which was developed in the mid-2010s, so relatively modern, used by the Norwegian army, and therefore naturally in War Thunder goes as a rank 5 premium into the Swedish Ground Forces tree. So what you get for this pre-order package, which it is, you get for 50 bucks, Gaijin coins, euros, dollars, whatever your currency is, with a lot of boni, which I do not really think are too interesting. You get this rank 5 SPG, SPH, whatever. You get a high caliber cannon that has a rate of fire of 6 rounds per minute or 10 seconds reload, spiced up by a laser rangefinder, meaning that when you point at something and you do the laser rangefinding, the aiming reticle will automatically adjust so that when you fire your gun, the shell will impact there. In other words, you don't need skill, it's point and click. Further enhanced by the thermal imager, which I don't know how good the quality of the picture is. So if it's really dizzly, grizzly, whatever, or if it is really sharp. The vehicle is heavy, but has no real effective protection, and you get a premium bonus. So the first thing is, here is the rate of fire of 10 seconds, or reload for 10 seconds of the L52 howitzer. And yeah, it is really interesting because for this 6.1 inch gun, or NATO standard 155mm, you can fire the M107HE round, the OEF3HE, which packs more TNT equivalent bursting charge, has a flatter trajectory, so therefore a higher muzzle velocity. Then you get a similar shell that is equipped with a radio fuse. I hope that it also works therefore like a proximity fuse versus aircraft, but I don't know. And should detonate above roofs of enemy tanks, whatever you aim at, and detonate there to splash down above the weakest protected part of any tank, IFV or howitzer in counter battery mode, whatever. And also a smoke shell. I also have run the numbers, and I have some comparison for you in just a moment, where we also have to talk about the name M107. This further is complemented by a 50 cal, which is always nice versus helicopters, aircraft, lightly protected targets, to track, to mark, whatever. It's always good to have a 50 with you. Some interesting thing about the name VIDAR, then about the mobility. So top speed is 67 kilometers per hour, which you should, at least on paved roads, achieve thanks to your horsepower of 1,000. And if you go by anything, the beacon is roughly 50 tons, so this also should be just under 20 horsepower per ton. Not bad for such a system. So I'm really looking forward to this. Let's get into War Thunder, and let's have a look at the beacon, which has a reload of 3.2 seconds. Yes, it barely can traverse the turret, which is slow. It has no gun depression. But the one thing that I want to show here is you have this shell and also this shell. So you lack the smoke shell. Then we have, for numerous other nations, also funny things. But the one thing that I want to show you outright is here the Lorraine 155 MLE 50, and that's the model from 1950, which also has the M107. But that's a different shell. It has the same name, same caliber, but it's a different shell. And we have a very similar shell, well, the same shell, here for the T30, right? But that's also a different shell to what you will get for the K9. And Germany has, as its most modern artillery piece, I'd say, the Sturmtiger, which fires a slightly bigger shell, or rocket-assisted shell, whatever you want to call it, The Soviets have the 2S3M. Great Britain comes with the G6, which still looks funny, and has this shell as a comparison. Japan then gets the Type 75 SPH, which then has apparently the correct M107 as a comparison. That's the radio burst one, and that's also a different one with a faster muzzle velocity but less TNT. So now here is the promised Excel spreadsheet comparison, and as you can see in the top right corner right away with the question marks, I have no idea if the stats are correct. For the M107 of the VIDAR, I'm quite confident that the stats are indeed correct. For the OEF3HE, on the other hand, it is most certainly wrong. And also I have not implemented here the smoke shells, the AP shells, or the heat rounds, whatever. I'm just focusing on the HE and HEVT. So for the M107, it would be really important that you have 61 millimeters, so it's above 60 millimeters, bypassing that armor threshold, and that is most certainly enough to penetrate the rooftop of any sort of tank, howitzer, IFV or whatever, and just splash the crew with overpressure. And also versus aircraft, if it would work that way, it's quite the shell. And I hope that the gun handling is a bit better than on the G6, but I don't know for sure. And I also hope that we have more ammo capacity than on the Bandkanon 1C. Again, we will see. And I think it's fair and square in the middle. It's not the one with the most yield, that would be the G6 in this comparison, aside from the Sturm Tiger at the very bottom. But it is so much better than many other shell types. And basically, I think that's it. That's literally it. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please share this video with your friends, with your squad mates, and whoever else you want to annoy with an unnecessary link. And we'll see each other in the skies, on the battlefields, and on the waves of War Thunder.